We're not going to protract the introduction. We want to get right to the work at hand. This is to be a very interactive, organic conversation, okay? Hear me again. Very interactive, organic conversation. We're hoping that people are tweeting. We're hoping that people are raising questions. We're hoping that people are doing everything that they need to do on their social media. Now, I'm assuming the pastor doesn't really appreciate social media while he's preaching his service, all right? But since we're not having too much service preaching today, I'm suggesting that you all go ahead and tweet and talk and communicate through your social media as much as possible, because this is about raising a larger conversation about how we deal with the issues of jobs and creating jobs, all right, and funding those jobs in our community. There's a lot of work that can be done. Just look around. There's a whole lot of work that can and should be done. This is a conversation about wages, all right, and making sure that people making livable wages, all right, that they're not making poverty wages. This is a conversation about economic opportunity and making sure that it's available for everybody and not just a few folks. And this is a conversation about the revitalization of urban America, which has been left off the table for far too long. I think everybody in this room would agree that the issues of trying to rebuild and revitalize our neighborhoods and our communities has been left off the table for far too long. We have some successes going on. We had some successes going on in the issue of wages. Congratulations and a big shout out, a big round of applause to our workers over at the Philadelphia International Airport. And they're successful. Come on, give them a shout, give them a round of applause. Thanks to some good organizing and some good work and some good relationships on the street and with our elected officials and city council and the state and the federal government, in a 2-year period, they are essentially, am I right, Councilman Jones, doubling their wages at the Philadelphia airport. In a 2-year period, they will be doubling, all right? Give them a round of applause. At the Philadelphia International Airport, there are some wins that are occurring. You'll hear about some of the wins, some of the victories. Yesterday, we toured. There was an article in the paper that the delegates from the DNC were not going into the neighborhoods to find out what was actually going on. Well, I beg to differ on that. We took a tour, all right? A bunch of elected officials and some folks who are and community leaders and some folks who are responsible for driving economic development toured West Philly and toured North Philadelphia yesterday. We showed the problems, but we also showed some of the successes. And we know what we need to do to win on this fight. We talked about what's going on in the infrastructure problem on 52nd Street where the 100-year-old water main breaks over and over and over again. It reached that 100 years, Jeff, and it keeps on breaking. And we talked about that, and we showed folks what it is that we have to do to deal with that. But then right up the street, and he's right here right now, at the 52nd and Parkside ShopRite, and the retail complex is going on over there. Hundreds of people are employed, many of them from the neighborhood, a whole bunch of them who are ex-offenders, who they're getting jobs, they're getting work. And that's a good thing. A very good thing. A very good thing. That is a good thing. And we wish some other businesses would be as progressive and as aggressive as Jeff Brown is and hire folks who all they want is a second chance. We wish that. And then I got real jealous when I went over to North Philadelphia. All right, where's Brian Hudson? Is Kelvin Jeremiah here from PHA? We're going to talk to him, all right, for sure. When I went over to North Philadelphia and toured the Sharswood Bloomberg project, all right? And if you haven't seen that one, go on the website. I think it's sharswoodbloomberg.com, all right? A $500 million, and that's a hugely distressed neighborhood, all right? Hugely distressed neighborhood, all right? $500 million project to transform that neighborhood completely for over 1,200 families, all right? Which could yield almost $1.5 billion in economic revitalization, and it's designed and it's structured in a way so there'll be no gentrification going on over there. So that the folks in that neighborhood, who live in that neighborhood, who've suffered in that neighborhood, get the opportunity to benefit those folks get the opportunity to benefit from the economic opportunity. But that's 1,200 families. We've got 120, we've got 500,000 families who are in a similar condition that need that same kind of investment. And that's why we're having this conversation. You all know the statistics. You all know what unemployment is like in the neighborhood. You all know what the wage situation is like in the neighborhood. You all know what's happening in our homes, in our communities, in their neighborhood. They're falling apart. I could go through reams and reams of data and reams of information to talk to you about that. But I won't do that. All you have to do is go to our website, New Deal, and the number 4, newamerica.com, and there's a whole resource page that talks about solutions and it talks about where the issues are and where the problems are.